Good to be with you from our nation's capital. I'm Tony DeCopo. The breaking news right now.
The event has been postponed.
Heat emergency, dangerous triple-digit temperatures. It feels like 112 here in Washington, D.C. Dozens of EMS calls to the National Mall and event organizers temporarily closing the Great American State Fair. Pavement buckling, trains stopped on the tracks, parades canceled. Nearly 200 million people in 28 states sizzling under the heat dome. And more severe weather on the way. Also developing tonight, multiple shark attacks and sightings off the East Coast. A beachgoer bitten on New York's Long Island. The warnings and what swimmers need to know. Wedding watch, it's the big day for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, celebrating with 1,000 VIPs at New York's Madison Square Garden. We're there with live updates.
You can see there's a ton of fireworks out here.
And America's Big Birthday, our exclusive preview of the largest fireworks show in history. 40 minutes and 850,000 fireworks to light up the night sky. And Steve Hartman on the road tonight, saluting the Patriots of the greatest generation.
The hair on my arm still stands up when I think about it, how beautiful it was.
Live from America, this is the CBS Evening News with Tony DeCopo, reporting tonight from our nation's capital on the eve of America's 250th birthday.
And good evening. Get ready, America. We're in Washington, D.C. ahead of tomorrow's big birthday, the America 250 celebration, and, of course, our CBS special, the Great American Block Party. All day we've been getting a preview, practice flyovers from what seems like everything with wings, F-18s, F-22s, the Thunderbirds, and the Blue Angels. But we're also doing battle with that heat, and not only us, nearly 200 million Americans across 28 states sizzling under that so-called heat dome. The pursuit of happiness goes on, however, and we've got it covered from every angle tonight, including security preps right here in D.C. But we're going to start with that heat. Senior transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve is over at Reagan National Airport, not far from here. Chris, how's it feel? Good evening.
Tony, it is hot and people are feeling the effects. D.C. paramedics responded to several calls for help from the National Mall today, transporting people to area hospitals as the temperature here topped 100 degrees for the second day in a row, a third day on tap for tomorrow. But the Independence Day celebrations continue. A dramatic rehearsal ahead of tomorrow's America 250 celebration. An impressive display of military air power practicing flyovers of the nation's capital, wowing onlookers braving the triple-digit heat.
I look like I just got done playing pickup basketball, but it's because of how much I'm sweating, but it's worth it.
You cannot go through to the other side. The fair is closed.
But those dangerous temperatures prompted the closure of the Great American State Fair on the National Mall during the afternoon's peak heat. The district hit at least 103. In Philadelphia, it was 104. The city canceled a planned America 250 parade. In Raleigh, North Carolina, the city broke a record, hitting 102. Two-thirds of the country are stuck under an unrelenting heat dome for at least one more day.
We're getting a lot of 911 calls for the road buckling.
The extreme heat had drivers in Wisconsin catching air after an off-ramp to Interstate 94 buckled right at rush hour. In the Northeast, Amtrak and transit agencies have had to slow down rail service to avoid heat-related safety issues, prompting delays and cancellations for a second day. More than 100 people were treated for heat-related issues at an event in Berks County, Pennsylvania Thursday.
We've opened all of our splash parks. And
Clint Osborne is D.C.'s Homeland Security and Emergency Management Director. How quickly can someone get themselves in trouble in this kind of weather?
This heat can take you out really, really quickly. 15, 20 minutes of exertion in this heat can be enough to start you down the pathway to heat injury or heat illness.
All the flyovers tomorrow will force Reagan National Airport to shut down at noon, and we are just hearing about a Delta flight in the Chicago area that reported to air traffic controllers it was struck by lightning in a severe storm there. The pilots telling controllers passengers smelled smoke, but there were no injuries. The plane has safely diverted to Indianapolis. Our Rob Marciano is tracking all of the severe weather all across the country. Rob?
Hey, Chris, yeah, a lot of severe storms on top of this heat. One real bad one went through Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. This one was destructive and unfortunately also proved to be deadly. There were 3 people that were out on the lake during the storm and they perished during the storm. There were 7 others that were able to be rescued. But this gives you an idea just how dangerous this weather is, not only the heat, but the severe storms that are rolling around this heat. And that's going to be a factor not just tomorrow, but tonight again. We've got severe thunderstorm watches out now that include the New York metro area. That's until 11 o'clock, and they're rumbling through, and several other watches that stretch back towards the Midwest. And this will kind of arc around and include places like Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C., Richmond, Charleston during the late day hours tomorrow, potentially going in to the evening. So we're watching that carefully. On top of this heat, here are the projected records tomorrow. We hit 102 today in D.C. That's a record. It will probably be another record tomorrow. Baltimore expected to hit 101. Philly will be 100 degrees, and Raleigh 105. As far as the humidity is concerned, though, that heat dome really being oppressive. Extreme heat warnings with feels like temperatures of 104 in St. Louis, 105 in Philadelphia, and 108 plus, in some cases 115. Very humid. Regardless of storms, the eastern half of the country, only comfortable spot is across the west, but here in the east, it will be oppressive through July 4th. Tony?
All right, Rob, thank you very much. Chris Van Cleve as well. Many hit the beach in hopes of cooling off this holiday Friday, but more bodies near the water means more potential shark attacks, and we got what appears to be 2 of them, including a man off Long Island's Jones Beach, which is where we find our Lana Zach.
It was like this 2-foot sand shark, and it came right up, and I mean, it was like right next to me.
Moments after Andrew Batchelor says he spotted a shark in the water here at Jones Beach, another swimmer was bitten in an apparent shark attack. State officials confirmed the swimmer suffered lacerations to the foot and was taken to the hospital.
Show me where it happened.
It was like right over there, like around where those people are standing.
Not further out.
This comes one day after beachgoers a few miles away at Point Lookout Beach were told to get out of the water after lifeguards spotted a shark.
We saw about approximately an 8-foot shark cruising from east to west right through our areas, about 45 yards offshore.
At nearby Rockaway Beach, red flags were raised after a group of sharks was spotted just offshore. Earlier this week, a hammerhead shark was filmed swimming along the coast of Long Island. O-Search monitors shark activity, their map tracking sharks from Maine to Miami. Despite the fear inspired by movies like Jaws, shark attacks are incredibly rare. Your odds of being bitten by a shark are just 1 in 11.5 million. Still, experts encourage caution as shark encounters have been reported all along the East Coast. And to keep your family safe, shark experts say swim in groups of people near the shore, avoid swimming during dusk, dawn, or when it's dark, and leave your jewelry at home because sharks can mistake all that sparkle for fish scales. Tony?
Good tips, Lana. Thank you. Tomorrow's 4th of July celebration on the National Mall is the first tagged as a national special security event, meaning law enforcement akin to a Super Bowl or an inauguration, and not only because of the crowd size here. Here's Homeland Security and Justice correspondent Nicole Skanga.
Washington, D.C. tonight is a fortress with miles of fencing and nearly 5,000 National Guard members on duty. Tomorrow's fireworks display is expected to draw hundreds of thousands, including the president.
And so, Special Agent in charge, this is the president's box.
Correct.
Secret Service Special Agent in charge, Tara McLeese, knows this July 4 follows a string of security scares, including an attack on the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
We're in a heightened threat environment. I can tell you that the Secret Service is hyper-focused on managing and mitigating any risk.
There is so much fencing out here, fences there, bike racks there. Talk to me about what happens if you need to evacuate the National Mall.
I've got agents and officers strategically positioned along this fencing, and if there is an event that requires a rapid evacuation, they're going to break these fences and we're going to get people out safely.
Engaging! But the security perimeter doesn't stop at the shoreline. On the water, around-the-clock Coast Guard patrols.
Given the scale of this event, we pulled resources from New Orleans, from Cape Cod, some deployable special forces. We have K-9 units that are coming in to do explosive detection sweeps shoreside, so it is quite a large footprint.
Officials say there's no specific or credible threat they're tracking ahead of tomorrow night's fireworks. Spectators will have to go through airport-like security. Every guest can bring one clear bag, but no coolers, no chairs. Tony?
Yeah, got to get there early. Nicole, thank you. The 4 presidents carved into Mount Rushmore collectively issued more than 1,100 presidential pardons combined. President Trump, who's visiting there tonight, has out-pardoned them all and is now adding more pardons. Here's Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes.
His name was discussed, but when President Trump's pardon list came out this afternoon, Sean Diddy Combs, convicted last year on prostitution-related charges, was not on it. Instead, Trump said he was pardoning 6 people who he claimed were persecuted by the Biden administration and sentenced to prison for what Trump described as fixing their car. The 6 were all convicted of pollution violations, including tampering with air pollution control equipment in vehicles.
Happy Independence Day.
On the eve of the nation's birthday, Trump plans to celebrate tonight here in the nation's heartland at Mount Rushmore, where some supporters have mused about adding Trump's face to the tableau. In 2020, Trump said, "It sounds like a good idea to me." Earlier this year, he even reposted AI images squeezing him in alongside Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Teddy Roosevelt.
I don't know any way that it would be possible.
Diana Nielsen is the CEO of the Mount Rushmore Society. She says the main obstacle isn't political, but geological.
There isn't any carvable rock from what was done originally, and it would make it very tenuous for the sculpture that is there to go in and to try and blast another face, no matter who it is.
With the pardons he signed today, President Trump has now granted clemency to more than 1,600 people during his second term. That's more than 6 times as many people as he pardoned during his first term. Tony?
Nancy, thank you. Now to America's other big event this weekend, the Taylor Swift-Travis Kelce Wedding Watch, now underway right now outside of New York's Madison Square Garden. Our Jolene Kent is there.
Today was a fairy tale under lockdown.
Feels like this is kind of the center of the world right now.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's love story prompted scores of police to shut down streets in New York City as celebrities started to gather from far and wide. The big day comes almost a year after Kelce proposed in this garden. Now an estimated 1,000 famous friends and family members arrived at Madison Square Garden through a big traffic jam and a massive white tent, shielding them from public view.
We came from Indianapolis, Indiana.
To see Taylor Swift's wedding?
We sure did.
Sources familiar with the planning tell CBS News Sir Paul McCartney could be performing for the newlyweds at a celebration expected to run as late as 2 a.m. Swift and Kelce's big day came after a more intimate, star-studded rehearsal dinner at MSG for about 100 people last night.
What's iconic about this marriage being here is there a more iconic venue that marries both the sports and entertainment industries than Madison Square Garden?
And Dolly Parton, not at the wedding, but thanking the couple for including her library charity in their $26 million in donations this week.
Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives.
You can see here the heavy police presence at Madison Square Garden. Inside, the reception is supposed to be underway for those 1,000 friends and family. But for all the other fans out there, the Swifties, they are hoping the bride might give them a photo as a birthday gift for America's 250th tomorrow. Tony?
Jolene, I wish I was there. Thank you very much. Still ahead on the CBS Evening News, what it takes to pull off the biggest fireworks display in history. We get an exclusive look. Tomorrow night, right here in Washington, D.C., a company called Pyrotechnico will attempt the biggest fireworks show in history, using 5 generations of family know-how to help America say happy birthday with a bang. There are fireworks, and then there's what's in store for Saturday. When the sun goes down in D.C. on Independence Day, the skies are expected to fill with a record-setting 850,000 individual fireworks. A 40-minute spectacle like no one has seen before. What are we looking at here? Are these the ones that go big boom, or the ones that make a pretty crackle?
So the ones here on your right are 5-inch display shells. That's going to go up about 500-600 feet in the air. Break.
Rocco Vitale is the president of Pyrotechnico, the company producing the show.
What makes this fireworks show special in the history of the country, but also the history of your family?
I mean, it's the biggest show we've done. So my earliest memories of fireworks displays and doing the 4th of July was here.
They've been planning this year's show since January, using computers to simulate the display. But now it's time for the real thing.
And you can see there's a ton of fireworks out here.
Vitale gave us an exclusive look at his not-so-secret weapons. 8 barges out on the Potomac, each one ready to light up the night sky.
Each firing location has a communication device, and it's all set on GPS. And once the time of the show is put into the system, it goes at that time.
Still ahead, how quickly they grow up. What of Jackie and Shadow's eaglets spreading its wings? Stay with us. A rare copy of the Declaration of Independence has been found in London. A volunteer archivist spotted it among papers seized by the Royal Navy back in 1776. The document just the 11th known survivor of its kind, and its most famous phrase is still clearly legible: all men are created equal. And a living symbol of American freedom has just taken flight. That's a young bald eagle named Luna, offspring of Jackie and Shadow, taking his first flight in Big Bear, California. And to think, Ben Franklin thought the turkey a much more respectable bird. The founders, not perfect men. Outside Sacramento, California, a rodeo skydiver with an American flag took a hard fall on Thursday, the flag snagging a tree and pulling him straight down. Bad as it looked, though, he got right back up, and the organizers say he'll be jumping again tonight. Up next, on the road with one man's mission. Day in America and another week. I'm Tony DeCopel. A reminder, join us tomorrow for our Great American Block Party kicking off at 8 p.m. Eastern, and on Monday from Seattle for the U.S. Men's World Cup game. Meantime, we'll see you tomorrow for a special edition of the CBS Evening News. Good night.